Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Wednesday afternoon. Welcome into this, another edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Jeremy Jeffcoat. Will be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. Auburn gets a win over Winthrop last night. The offense finally shows up for the Auburn basketball team. Hopefully that will continue as they move forward. We'll break down that game a little bit, talk about what's next for the Auburn Tigers as basketball season is underway. College football playoff scenarios. It's that time of year, JJ.
Yep.
Where we're kind of narrowing it down. We only got 2 weeks left in the regular season. A lot of different things could happen. We know the principal players, but you got a one-loss Tennessee team out there. You're going to have the loser of the Ohio State-Michigan game that's sitting out there with one loss. That's not going to make the championship, the conference championship game. A lot can happen. There are always some upsets, around this time of year. So it could be interesting. We'll kind of look at those, see who we think maybe finally will be.
It looks like it's pretty simple to me.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean,
it's simple. If
let's assume it goes to chalk, right?
Okay.
Georgia wins out
Right.
and beats LSU.
Yep.
Georgia's in.
Sure.
Winner of the Ohio State-Michigan game is in.
If they don't screw up.
If TCU doesn't lose, they're in.
Okay.
And if Tennessee finishes out 11-1, I think they're in.
So they're in over a one-loss USC Pac-12 champion.
Yes.
They're in over a one-loss Clemson
Yes.
ACC champion.
Clemson would be no higher than 6.
Okay.
Even winning the ACC. The ACC is an absolute joke this year. You can make a better argument for USC than you would for Clemson. Much better.
Okay.
But to me, I think Tennessee's in. They have the number 3 strength of schedule in the country. Their only loss is a road loss to the number 1 team. They beat a team that was, highly ranked when they beat them. They've got quality wins, quality loss. I think Tennessee. I think Tennessee's in. I would say under that scenario, you're going to have Georgia at 1, Ohio State or Michigan at 2. I think you'll have Tennessee at 3 and TCU at 4.
Okay. That's if it goes
chalk, yeah.
The way that we think it's going to go.
Yep.
So we'll look at that. We'll look at some SEC games as well. Kind of bounce around here on a Wednesday. Love to hear from you as always. 256-234-6221. That is our number. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind. Obviously, the Auburn coaching search continues. Still continue to be rumors every day. Insiders. Somebody knows an insider that has. The deal's already on the table. The deal has been agreed to. But we'll see what that is. But
that very well may be.
It very well may be.
There very well may be a deal on the table that is agreed to in principle, and now we are talking about Jimmy Sexton here, so weird things happen.
It's true.
But
if they are talking to somebody that's in the NCAA, they're not going to be announced until after the Iron Bowl.
That's right. But it wouldn't be surprised if it was announced the next day. I think you'll want to do it as soon as possible.
I would expect that.
Yep.
Considering that December 5th date.
I would say this. The Iron Bowl's on the 27th. Is that right?
The Iron Bowl is on the 26th.
26th. If you do not have an announcement by 5 p.m. on the 28th, then it's not Lane Kiffin.
Oh, yes.
I will say that.
I would agree with that 100%. And if it's not named within 48 hours, people are going to become very nervous.
Yep.
And I'll be one of them. If you got any thoughts on that, as always, we'd love to hear from you. You can always Dial us up on the Sportz Blitz Facebook page, that's Sports with a Z, and comment away, and we'll get to as many of those as we can throughout the show. Since we started talking about it, let's just go ahead and dive into that. Some college football playoff scenarios. Okay, so you describe, you say if it all goes and everybody wins out, Georgia. Now, the big question I would say is, if Georgia loses to LSU, they're still in, right?
Georgia's still in.
And LSU is in.
I don't know. A 2-loss? I don't know. I know they're supposedly they put a lot of weight on conference championships. I get that. They're still a 2-loss team.
Yeah.
And
now we think it's highly unlikely that LSU will beat Georgia, but Georgia has come to this game and lost more than once.
Yeah, and in LSU's defense, one of those losses, season opener, brand new coaching staff,
missing
a lot
extra
of new
point.
players, miss an extra point. You know, you can forgive if they were a 1-loss team. I think they'd be in the top 4 right now, if that were their only loss, right? So, but yeah, I don't think it's a guarantee that LSU gets in with 2 losses.
Okay, no guarantee.
No guarantee.
All right. So, okay, there's the SEC. We believe Georgia's in regardless.
Yeah, no question.
No question. So, there's you one spot tied up. Georgia is the number 1 team.
You know, that's assuming not a loss to Kentucky or Georgia Tech.
That would be Armageddon.
Yes.
Yeah. We're discounting the end of the world type stuff.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, okay, so Clemson and North Carolina both already in the ACC title game. Clemson's got Miami and South Carolina, which Miami's atrocious. South Carolina's not going to win that game in Clemson, I don't think. North Carolina's got Georgia Tech and NC State. They could lose to NC State, but it really doesn't matter.
I don't see either one of those teams getting in.
You're just completely.
Well, it's not me. I'm just looking at the national mood, right?
Okay.
And the general consensus seems to be that once Clemson lost, that was it. The only way they were getting in was to run the table. The only way.
Okay.
This is not a good Clemson team. Most people know it.
Yeah.
They've played like it most of the year. And
But as you say, the committee loves conference champions.
Well, yeah, but there'll be other conference champions with 1 loss that you can take.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's say let's just put that aside for a second.
I think TCU as a 1-loss conference champion would still get in over Clemson.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. No way a 1-loss TCU gets in over a 1-loss Clemson. Just by reputation alone. I cannot see.
There is no reputation this year. They're not good.
I'm not saying
They don't have that reputation.
You are correct. They are not very good. But I cannot see.
Clemson fans, hear me. Miami, you're going to play Alabama in the Orange Bowl. That's what's going to happen.
Think so.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be very interesting. Okay, so you bring up TCU, Big 12. They are undefeated. They got Baylor on the road this week. They could lose that game.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's one of those you lose a field goal game on the road at Baylor. You come back and win the Big 12, you could still get in.
Now, who do they play in the Big 12? That gets muddy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kansas State is 5-2, Oklahoma State's 4-3, Baylor's 4-3, Texas is 4-3 in the Big 12. Kansas State lost to, I think, Baylor. No, they beat Baylor Saturday, I think. But they lost to like Oklahoma State or something. Something that like Texas beat, I think, Kansas State and lost to Oklahoma State and Baylor. So like Texas, if they were to win out, I don't know what happens if Kansas State were to lose a game. If they lose to either West Virginia or Kansas, that thing's going to get – I mean, it's like a nightmare.
Get one of those deep tiebreakers.
Yeah, something's weird's going to happen. Now, it's most likely, I think, that Kansas State beats West Virginia on the road and beats Kansas at home. And so TCU and Kansas State would have a rematch. And, again, there's no guarantee that TCU wins that game.
There's not. There's no guarantee anybody wins any of these, but except Georgia and Georgia Tech. I think that's a guarantee.
I think that's probably a given. But, okay, so TCU ends up with one loss, let's say, because you got Baylor and Kansas State.
One
and
loss with a conference title.
Right.
Right.
And certainly if they lose the conference championship, they're eliminated. That opens up a spot for somebody else.
Right.
So TCU basically, they could afford a loss to Baylor, cannot afford a loss to.
I don't think
Kansas
TCU is going to lose 2 of their last 3. I just don't think they're going to lose.
Seems
2.
unlikely.
They could lose at Baylor, but
Big 12 title game's always been kind of a weird upset
yeah,
type.
I think you can survive a loss at Baylor.
Okay.
But if they beat Baylor and lose the Big 12 title game, I think that knocks them out.
Sure.
So and then that would open the door for maybe a USC.
There is USC at 7-1. They got to go to UCLA, and they'll play Notre Dame to close things out. Both of those games are
Tough. Yeah.
Now, who plays in the Pac-12 title? If you've got, is the Pac-12's only hope a one-loss USC team?
Probably. I guess you could. Yeah, I think that's probably
it.
Yeah.
Utah sitting out there. Oregon and Utah play Saturday. That's a big game. The winner of that game most likely will play USC if USC wins out.
Now you could see a scenario where you get losses USC, losses TCU. You could see a scenario where the loser of Ohio State, Michigan gets in, and Georgia and Tennessee get in. You get an all Big Ten, all SEC Final Four.
I'm headed in that direction.
Yeah.
We got to take a break. Love to hear from you. 256-234-6221. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
Concrete Basement and Walls LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls LLC.
No monthly payments until springtime at Glenn Smith in Opelika. How about a brand new Chevrolet Buick or GMC with no payments till springtime? New Chevy Equinox as low as $359 a month. New Buick Enclaves up to $4,000 off. New GMC Terrains up to $5,000 off.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way at Glenn Smith and Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. About 45 more minutes left in today's show, brought to you each and every day by Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, saving people thousands of dollars on their home mortgages each and every year. Also closing loans in about 15 days. So they are doing things the right way there at Mortgage Pro, and they are always looking out for your best interest. Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, 256-397-0248. Okay, here's the scenario, JJ. Georgia wins out.
Yep.
Beats LSU in the SEC title game.
Yep.
Undefeated Georgia.
Yep, won.
Ohio State, Michigan winner wins out, wins the Big Ten. Two undefeated teams.
Yep.
Clearly.
1-2.
All right. TCU loses to Baylor, comes back, wins the Big 12 title game. You got one loss TCU, Big 12 champion. Clemson wins out. You got one loss ACC champion. USC wins out. You got one loss Pac-12 USC champion. You got one loss Tennessee. You got one loss Michigan. Who are you for? Who of those four teams, who are you fitting into those two slots?
Well, here's the thing.
Are those five
It should be Tennessee and Michigan. Depending on what happens. Ohio State blows Michigan out, but where's that game being played?
It's in Ohio State.
It's okay. It's in the shoe. So, yeah, I would say, let's say that Ohio State does to Michigan effectively what Georgia did to Tennessee, right?
Okay.
Not a 50-0 kind of blowout, but a pretty dominant performance, right? You can excuse that a little bit as a road game. I saw a stat the other day, like top 10 college football teams on the road, right? And there were like virtually no losses at home, But it's hard to win on the road in the upper levels of college football because everywhere you go is just a hard place to play, and you're dealing with 19 and 20-year-olds, and it becomes harder on the road to play. So, but you can make the argument that it should be Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, Michigan, because those are the four best teams. And keep in mind, they're supposed to place value on conference championships. Mm-hmm. But the goal of the 14 playoff was what? To get the four best teams. Yeah. So
there was always we've gone back and forth, and we've debated this too. But there is a difference between the four best teams and the four most deserving teams. And I never really understood.
I don't know about that. Is there a difference?
There is to me.
If you're the best team, are you not deserving?
Well, you played and you lost, and
everybody else lost too.
While technically you may be
everybody
better,
else lost too, though.
You may be higher ranked. I think a team that maybe has run the table or whatever, maybe in a lesser.
So
conference.
let's say USC runs it the rest of the way, has one loss. Tennessee has one loss. You're going to rank USC above Tennessee, even though Tennessee played arguably the toughest schedule in the country, or one of the top two or three. Toughest schedules. You're going to rank USC's one-loss season higher than Tennessee's one-loss season simply because they won a weaker conference than Tennessee plays in.
I wouldn't do it over USC because I don't think USC deserves it. By judging of some of the
Clemson.
teams. Now TCU, one-loss TCU. I think TCU may be more deserving because they won their conference.
But under this scenario, USC would have won their conference.
They would, but looking at their competition,
okay. But again, you're trying to be. Here's the thing: you're trying to come up with an objective measure, but then you're still adding subjectivity into it.
Of course. Well,
it's subjective.
You got a committee. It's
going
to be subjective.
Well, it's supposed to be. If it's going to be the stated goal of getting the 4 best teams, it has to be.
It comes down
great
to
deal
how
subjective.
much weight you put on conference championship.
Yeah. Well, and that's a personal decision. There's not a formula, right? 70%, 60%.
Right.
It's a thing of, I mean, look, there's probably going to be like a one-loss, I don't know, Mountain West Sun Belt Conference USA champion somewhere. I mean, what does that mean? You won a conference, congratulations. I think it comes down to who you've beaten and who your one loss was to. You have to judge the wins and the losses. And the losses matter. If you lose to a substandard team, right, subpar team, versus another team with one loss, and that one loss was to a really good team on the road, I got to look at that loss. That loss, to me, factors as much as the wins.
Yeah. And the rankings matter, too, because just for, if nothing else, for perception's sake, right now Tennessee's sitting at number 5.
Right.
In the best possible place. So if you do, now, it's a USC number 7, Clemson number 9. So, if you're going to bump one of those, you're going to have to really bump them a long way above and have Tennessee not move at all.
Yeah.
And to try to justify that right here at the end, it would be kind of difficult.
That's right.
So,
well, and look, we've already had this scenario play out before with Alabama and teams that don't win their conference in a particularly tough year, but you finish with that one loss and it's a really quality loss. And you go, okay, 3, 4, 5. Am I really going to put somebody ahead of them that I look at, and I can kind of quantitatively go through the stats, and I can go through the performance, I can go through the wins and losses, and tell you that not only subjectively but objectively too, based on the schedule, the wins and the loss, is a better team, right? So I think that has to play into it too.
I think a lot of this probably works itself out. USC, to me, the way they've been playing at UCLA, Notre Dame, and playing in the Pac-12 title game, I don't see them winning out. I think that probably takes care of itself, so it's not an issue. It may end up being, but TCU at Baylor, Iowa State's not a given. Kansas State probably in the Big 12 title game. That one again, I think that probably works itself out. You're going to have, though, I believe you're going to have a one-loss Clemson to look at against a one-loss Tennessee, a one-loss Michigan, and or Ohio State.
I think if it's Tennessee or Michigan that you're comparing that one-loss Clemson to, no way Clemson does it. I just don't see it.
I think you might be right.
And you may wind up literally with Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, Michigan.
That would be.
And really and truly, does that not sound like a great Final Four? I mean, that sounds like a great Final Four.
But if it does go and you do have all those one-loss conference champions, people will be saying this would be the perfect year for the 12 big plays.
Well, it would be. Yeah. But any year would be the perfect year for the 12.
No, wow.
I like the 12. Look, I always thought it should have been an 18 playoff to me. But I would have gone to 5 major conference champions with automatic bid, and then your 3 highest non-conference champions.
Got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, their compact equipment provider.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
Russell Building Supply and Home Center is just around the corner in a brand new, convenient location with a wide selection of grills, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. The new store offers more home improvement items along with other helpful conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard and our Best Rewards program, making it an ideal destination for do-it-yourselfers and professional contractors. Get ready for game day on the plains by stocking up on all your Auburn tailgating gear at Russell Building Supply and Home Center.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. About 30 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. We are brought to you each and every day by Russell Do-It Center. They got 10 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out
I have a question
Russell
for
Do-It
you,
Center
Andy.
today.
This is off script,
Okay.
so I have a question for you anyway.
All right.
Where is Carnell Williams on the pecking order at Auburn right now?
Pecking order as in coaching hire?
Yep.
is this where Andy thinks he ought to be, or is this where he
Well,
is
I'm just saying
actually?
because in your perception, the perception I have is that he's put himself in the pecking order. And I think if you fall back, right, from let's say a Kiffin to a Freeze, let's say that Kiffin decides to either stay where he is or NFL job approaches him or whatever. And let's say that Hugh Freeze is telling the truth, that he's happy on the mountain up there at Liberty, or that his wife is happier with him being on the mountain up there at Liberty.
All right.
If you get to that point where those two are out, now you're looking at a Deion Sanders. Has Carnell worked his way up into that area of discussion?
I would hire Carnell Williams before I would hire Jeff Grimes.
Well, that was my thing, because I've always kind of looked at Jeff Grimes as the fallback candidate, right? But has Carnell now put himself in the fallback candidate role?
I think if Lane Kiffin, Hugh Freeze, and Deion Sanders turn you down, then yes.
Okay.
I would say I could.
You would definitively, though, limited amount of coaching experience on both, right? But you would definitively Deion Sanders over Carnell Williams.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I just don't think Carnell's ready for this kind of role. I don't think he's earned it, to be perfectly honest.
Sure.
And just in coaching circles. I mean, yeah, he's earned it as an Auburn guy, but just
he's earned it as much as Jeff Saturday.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's the NFL. Look, let's be honest here, okay? The Cleveland Browns hired what's his name? From Alabama, the quarterback.
Freddie Kitchens?
Freddie Kitchens, for goodness sake.
Well, he was their offensive coordinator, though.
Yeah, well, no, I think he was their quarterback coach. I don't think he was a coordinator.
But
Like
the same thing. He took over in an interim role. They performed really well.
Yeah.
Let's give him a shot. Right?
Well. And how'd that work out?
Didn't work out.
Okay. So I love Carnell to death. I to say he's worked his way into maybe getting an interview, I'm okay. That's fine. But I think these three guys have got to turn you down first. But that's anyway. Good question. Okay, so Steve says 1-loss Michigan does not make it, but a 1-loss Ohio State makes it if that loss is to Michigan.
Well, one, I think they both have a chance to make it, but who asked the question?
Steve.
Steve, the difference is Michigan is playing this game on the road. The loss for Michigan looks better on a resume than the loss for Ohio State because it would be a home loss.
True.
So in terms of how the loss looks, it looks better for Michigan to lose that game than Ohio State.
Ty says, if Lane agrees to become the head coach at Auburn, could we know Friday before the Iron Bowl since the Egg Bowl is on Thanksgiving night? Interesting.
Well, that is interesting. I don't think you would want to take the thunder away from Carnell on that Saturday, though. You're gonna let Carnell coach that game, I think. I think that's the way to do it.
I think that's probably true.
I think it's the fair thing to do.
Yeah. Wes says, let's talk a little basketball. Jans and Pearl may be coach of the year in the SEC. Seems a little early for that. It's early, but it's looking good.
Yeah.
Have a good day. Wes, our resident Bulldog. Like the hire of Jans, I think it was David says Jans was a great hire. Brett says that entire last segment is why the playoffs are expanding.
Yeah.
That is not.
Well, it's going to be so much more. It's going to be so much more fun because if you want to come to me with an impassioned argument that the number 13 team deserves to be in, go away.
Yeah, really.
We're going 12, and the difference between 12 and 13 is who cares. That's the difference.
I'm going to miss these segments a little bit with the playoff scenarios, trying to fit 5 teams into 2 slots.
I think the important thing is the bye. Does the bye favor? Not favor. I think the bye. I think the bye works in your favor.
Bye hurt baseball, hurt the Braves, hurt the Dodgers.
Well, it did, but different sport. I think you ask any coach, would you like an extra week to get ready for a playoff game? He's going to say, yeah.
Yeah. Football, it's a lot more preparation going into it, and
you want to get healthy.
Tailoring game
you
plans.
don't want to be banged up. You know.
That's true. That's for sure. All right, the Auburn Tigers, as I mentioned, beat Winthrop last night. Finally, the offense got clicking. John I. Broome had the kind of game that I thought he was going to have. 18 points, 13 boards, 5 blocks. That was a a dominating performance from him. Wendell Green continues to shoot the ball well. Just up and down the lineup. It's going to the thing about this team, and Bruce Pearl said it going into the season. He's been talking about it. The depth of this team. Nobody played over 24 minutes. Only 3 guys played 20-plus minutes.
Right.
So, this is going to be the strength of this team, is just to be able to wear other teams down with overwhelming depth.
There are 3 stats I always look at in basketball, right? And because after the game, if you look at these 3 stats, 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you who won the game. Comparative field goal percentage, Auburn shot 47%, Winthrop shot 36%. Rebounds, Auburn 53, Winthrop 33. It's a 20 rebound edge. And turnovers, only had 8 turnovers. So if you outshoot your opponent by 11%, you out-rebound them by 20, and you only turn the ball over 8 times, you're going to win that.
You win by 30.
You're going to win that game, so.
Yeah, those are good. 8 turnovers and 17 assists for Auburn. That is, that's where you need to be. That's where you really start to feel like this team is moving in the right direction. Chance Westry comes back. He plays 15 minutes or 16 minutes last night. And actually, he contributes. 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. So good for him to kind of get in the mix. Hopefully he's going to be that shooter from the outside that Auburn desperately needs. Got to get KD Johnson kind of back on track a little bit. He's a little bit struggling. But, again, the lineup up and down, there's going to be a different guy every night. I think Wendell Green is going to be kind of the consistent guy that gives you 12 to 15 a night. But it's going to be a different guy stepping up every night, I think. And I think they got some guys capable of doing that. Should be a lot of fun. They play Texas Southern this weekend, or the 18th. So Texas Southern coming to Auburn. Texas Southern 1-3, and have gotten blown out a few times. So maybe this one will be another one for the offense to get clicking. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
At CNT Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Hey, this is Doug Roberts, long-term resident of Alexander City. I sold my house with Century 21 Lake Area Realty because all my life I had heard that to sell a house you need 3 things: location, location, location. I found out there's actually 4. You need location, 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 and Rhonda Gaskins at Century 21 Lake Area Realty to sell your house fast.
Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River Region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker, 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 Brubaker.
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's better at Brubaker.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Only a couple of more segments left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us, brought to you each and every day by Big Fish Real Estate. For all your real estate needs here in the Lake Martin area as well as down there on the coast, give them a call today. 551-BIG-FISH or look them up, bigfishlakemartin.com. John has a question. Is there any other coaches out there that haven't made it, that hasn't made it under Auburn's radar that they could be looking at for the head coaching position? So
I think so.
Under the radar hires.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know how under the radar this is, but you've heard Matt Rule's name. So I think he, you know, could potentially be one that's
I'll bring up one that you brought up, Todd Monken.
Todd Monken, offensive coordinator at Georgia. I think he's going to be a head coach somewhere soon. You know, what about Baylor?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Former LSU,
former
defensive
LSU defensive coordinator, now the head coach at Baylor and doing a heck of a job.
Yeah, nobody knows his name. But
Yeah.
doing a
Dave
heck of a
Aranda.
job. Dave Aranda. Thank you.
You know, so I think there's some under the radar. There could be a surprise name. I mean, you know, press conference gets called at Auburn on the Monday morning after the Iron Bowl, and ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dave Aranda. You know, I mean, I think people would go, "Whoa, really?" But I don't think you fall out of. You know, you're not going to pass out of shock. You know, but that would be a little under the radar.
It seems as though Auburn is looking for someone with head coaching experience. So I don't think it's going to be a coordinator that's never been a head coach.
I don't think so either.
That eliminates Jeff Grimes.
I would tend to agree with you, but what about a guy like Jamie Chadwell?
Now there's an under the radar.
There's an under the radar. He's at Coastal Carolina.
He done a heck of a job. You know, that's kind of that old school thing where, you know, you used to go hire a mid-major guy or a lower division guy that was killing it, you know, and he's Brian Kelly. He's
he's a young Brian Kelly. Yeah. But he's a guy that I think is going to get a shot somewhere soon. I could see him at a Georgia Tech. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But you know, we'll have to see. But I think those are some under the radar names.
Certainly Georgia Tech could do worse, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think we got a phone call.
Okay.
Hey, caller, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey, let me turn the TV down. That's what I'm talking about with you guys, man. I love it. You're talking about other coaches. I'm tired of these 3-4 names that been put out in this atmosphere. And they be put out in this atmosphere real early. And then when the new AD come in, that is what is thrown in his face. Like I told you, Andy, once before, I hope the guy do his due diligence, because I'm quite sure when he was the athletic director at Mississippi State, he probably got Lane Kiffin, Hugh Freeze, Deion Sanders on a bike list. he probably don't have them at the top of his list. But now that he get to Auburn, everybody keep hollering these three names, and I bet you this joker is going to go ahead and hire one of these guys that me and myself and other people don't want. And that's the sad part about it. He going to get thrown these three names. Here you go. Lane Kiffin, Hugh Freeze, Dion. And there he go high, but he gonna say he did his due diligence, but he didn't never have these guys on the top of his radar because he wasn't here when these names became available when people started talking about these names. They started talking about these names early on before he got here. So watch and see what I'm telling you. He's gonna hire one of these three people. And I bet you he didn't have none of them on his radar.
Well, James.
And like we said, one more thing. If we go get Lane Kiffin, we finna get in an $80 or $90 or $100 million contract, and we finna get stuck because, like I said, they just gonna win 7-8 games like the rest of them, and we'll be fining them in 2 or 3 years anyway. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, James. Well, let me just say this, and what is there no possibility in your mind, James, that John Cohen could do his due diligence, be as thorough as he possibly could, look at, 10 names on the list, add in whoever that might be, and come back and say, the best person, in my opinion, that of all these candidates is a Lane Kiffin.
Oh, I think that's
so. I mean, so
entirely possible.
You say he hires him. I don't think he's hiring him just because of what if that were to be the case, I don't think he would be hiring him because of what the media said or what the fans said. I think he would be hiring him because he thinks legitimately he is the best person for the job.
Yeah,
now, he might not be, but that's what he thinks.
I would bet you he's got a list with 8 or 10 names on it, and he's researching every one of them right now, probably ranking them in certain ways. But this is not the old days where recruiting was in February either. You can't afford to take 6 weeks at the end of the season to do a national search and interview 6 or 8 people. You've got to be having those discussions now behind the scenes, so that you can move fast, because you've got a very important signing day in December, and whoever you hire, you hope can have some effect on that.
One thing I'm glad to see, no search committee.
Yeah, search committees.
Do the job yourself. That's a waste of money. But that's me. We got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. One final segment of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Hey guys, this is Nate Pass with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
Need that boost to get you started in the morning or help get you through a long day at the office? Alex City Nutrition is your answer. Alex City Nutrition, located on 2nd Broad Street in downtown Alex City, offers meal replacement shakes, post-workout shakes, extreme rebuild products, and a vast array of loaded teas that offer focus, energy, and build up your immunity and overall health. Want to buy in bulk? We now offer your favorite flavors by the gallon. Come by Alex City Nutrition today or call 256-496-8284 to begin your journey to great health.
The Auburn Blitz, eh?
Welcome back to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ closing things out. One final segment. You want an under-the-radar hire? How about Mike O'Shea from the CFL? Jim Hardy brings that up. And that's the second time I've heard that name today. So
I would only point out, while he has won the last 2 Grey Cups, I can't find any college coaching experience. In fact, I can't find any American coaching experience. Hey, but under the radar, that would be under the radar.
That would be under the radar. Let's go back to the phone line.
James, you're back.
Hey, yeah, I'm back. If he get him a list and then do that, but I'm telling you, he's not getting no list. And I hope he is. Like I told you, there's Scott Frost, there's Tom Herman, there's Dave Aranda, there's coaches that getting fired in the NFL. You got a bunch of more candidates than what we getting. And if they want to say these are three best for Auburn, then let it be. Because we got a chance now to set it straight where, like Brent said last night, we can bring a coach here to get it on the rail. But for some reason, after 2 years, I guess they just quit coaching over there. But I was going to ask you about this kid and Benjamin Russell. I know they talking about this running back. I don't like it. But this was a kid that played Hewlett-Town a couple of weeks ago. There's a guy named Milner that ran these guys down.
Yeah, Corey
He
Milner.
seemed to me like he might be the best player in the state. Are we recruiting him? And I hang up and listen. Thank you.
I don't know.
I do not believe so. I know he doesn't have an offer, as far as I know.
Did I hear that he had a visit somewhere a couple of weeks ago? I don't remember where it was, though.
Yeah, Milner's not getting the offers that you would think that a player, that put up the numbers that he has.
And James, I don't want to disagree with you, and I'm not even an Auburn fan, but I'll put this out there now. If Auburn hires Scott Frost, you get what you deserve.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you get what you deserve.
That is a really, really, really hard sell. Tom Herman?
You can make an argument for
That's
Tom
an
Herman.
under-the-radar hire.
You can make an argument that Dave Aranda, we already brought up.
Aranda, yeah. Scott Frost, that's a really difficult sell.
Yeah. Yeah, Scott Frost needs to go be a coordinator for somebody for a couple of years, and yeah.
And I think that's a good fine point to put on.
Yeah.
Well, we only got a couple more minutes left. It is November the 16th. On this day, JJ, the only tie in Iron Bowl history, 1907. It happened on this day, an Iron Bowl before Thanksgiving. Can you imagine that?
Is it a little bit surprising that there haven't been more ties?
A little bit.
Considering that we played like 100 years of college football without overtime?
And overtime's been for what, since 96? So
yeah,
we played quite a few before that.
Yeah.
But only one tie, 6-6 in Birmingham, 1907.
Obviously, that was a barn burner of a game.
I'm telling you.
The drama was high.
It was.
Yeah.
There was probably at least 150 yards of total offense in that game.
Yeah.
1957 on this day, a momentous occasion for everybody else, not for Oklahoma. Oklahoma's 47-game winning streak came to a close at the hands of Notre Dame, 7-0 in Oklahoma.
Talk about that Iron Bowl being so, high scoring and dynamic like it was.
Yeah.
Reminded me of a story Joe Namath told one time. It was before they were getting ready to play somebody. And had his pregame talk with Bryant. They always took a walk with the quarterback. And, got the game plan. Yes, sir, I'm good. You know what you got to do. Yeah. He goes up. He says, Joe, he said, I got to tell you, we're not big enough. We can't beat them running the ball. They're bigger than us. They're stronger than us. You're going to have to throw it today. You're going to have to throw it. Your arm's going to be sore before this day is over. You're going to have to throw it more than you've ever thrown it in your life, son. Heck, you may throw the ball 20 times today.
Football has changed a little bit.
Just a little
bit. Happy birthday today, W.C. Handy, known as the father of the blues.
Yeah.
Born in Florence, Alabama.
That's
for all
right.
of you out there, born on this date, 1873. Burgess Meredith, the great Burgess Meredith.
Let's knock his block off.
Mickey, the Penguin.
Yeah.
Some of the great Twilight Zone episodes ever. Time.
Because chicken chasing is how we always used to train in the old days.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
Joe Leisure, you remember Joe Isuzu? The commercials? No.
Oh, yeah.
He was in an airplane, too. We got a quick call. Let's try to get this one in. Go ahead, Calder. You're on the Auburn Blitz.
Okay. We hear all this talk about Lane Kiffin, but we don't hear. We hear all this talk about Lane Kiffin, but we don't hear much about prime time. I don't think Lane can win the big games.
Well, he has struggled in the biggest games at Ole Miss, so that there is that. Now, what makes you think Deion would win the big games?
Well, you know what? I'm a big Auburn fan. I would, if we couldn't get Deion, I would just soon settle for Hugh Freeze.
So Kiffin is down the list for you. Deion number one, Hugh Freeze number two.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, look, I think Hugh Freeze is a better value. I think he's just as good a coach as Lane Kiffin. I think he's just as good a recruiter, and I think you can get him for less money. But that's not to say that's not who the number one choice is. Everybody assumes it's Lane Kiffin right now, and it may be, but I don't know that for a fact.
His attitude's not real good.
He has got some
edges.
He's got some struggles in that area.
Yes.
Anything else?
Well, War Eagle and the basketball team looked super last night.
Absolutely, they did. Thank you, Randy. War Eagle.
The thing about Lane Kiffin is sometimes you need a swashbuckler. Do you need the nicest guy in the world that never ticks anybody off, or I don't know. And look, there's a reason Lane Kiffin's name is out there like it is. Part of that reason is Jimmy Sexton.
Yeah.
Part of that reason may very well be Auburn, but we don't know. We know who his agent is.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he's a guy that's moved around, and he's going to go to the highest bidder.
Well, here's the thing.
He's a hired guy.
Lane's not done. Ole Miss is not a big enough job. He's going to want a job that he can win a national championship at. It's as good at Ole Miss right now as it's ever going to get.
Sure.
So he's looking, I'm sure.
Happy birthday, Dot Gooden and Eric Crouch, Heisman winner as well. He's JJ. I'm Andy. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.